Allow the children
it's okay. Off your mind, it's okay.
She
off your mind,
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, my ego don't come. Ingo torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, my ego don't come, my people make we shout, my ego don't come, my ego don't come, man of the masses, my ego don't come, politico, this one not the off in mind. And in the touchlight every corner. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you lie down. My ego don't come. My people make we shout. My ego don't come. My ego don't come, man of the masses. My ego don't come. Politico, my ego don't come. This one not they off in mind. My ego don't come. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that my ego, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say my ego diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk, but thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you laugh, my ego don't come, my people make you shout, my ego don't come, my ego don't come, man of the masses. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun diary na ibi number one. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun diary na ibi number one. Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú. Mayegun diary na ibi number one. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Mayegun diary na ibi number one. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun diary na ibi number one. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun diary na ibi number one. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun diary na ibi number one. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun diary na ibi number one. Mayegun diary politico. Mayegun diary na ibi number one. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun diary na ibi number one. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgbọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Mayegun diary na ibi number one. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun diary na ibi number one. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ayọ̀.
Máyégún ti dé.
Bíjó ìgbádìyẹ.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ayọ̀.
Máyégún ti dé.
Pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ayọ̀.
Máyégún.
Today. Hello there. Good morning to you. Good afternoon to you. And good evening to you from wherever you are joining us. This is Máyégún Live. Thank you so much for joining me and joining us. Welcome to the Temple of Truth. After reading the caption of the broadcast, please read the description of the broadcast as well. Because there lies where most of what we're going to talk about. Then after reading, like the broadcast in the temple, it is considered as your offering. Then share the broadcast, as it is generally believed that there is love in sharing. To invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends, tell them all that Máyégún today, Máyégún is live. Thank you. So tonight, we are again digging into the activities of the supposed opposition to Koolu and what they are up to. So, Rufire, the guy that is leading the charge, because you can see he is leading the charge after he got used and dumped by Tinubu. Now, Rufire is considered as, or can be likened to, what do you call it? A sort of like a betrayed lover. Yeah, I think that's the word. Betrayed lover. You know, some would say scorned woman, right? So you cannot imagine, right, what kind of damages he can do until it is done. But to some, Rufire is just a tiger who can only bark or can't bite, a roar, but can't tear. While others believe that, well, Rufire is going to be the Achilles heel for Koolu. In fact, as he was the last, sort of like the last screw to put together Tinubu's, presidency that you have right now. Anyway, Rufire has been telling everyone who cares to listen that Tinubu is going to be an OTP, and that is one-term president. How he's going to do it, we don't know. So they're talking about opposition. So to Rufire, the oppositions are going to group together and they're going to go to the SDP. And from there is where they are going to send the Koolu back to Lagos in 2027. So that's where we're going to start from tonight. And then we're going to go all over the place as usual, right? Touch this, touch that, pick on this and that. And when the time permits, we can have it. So at the SDP headquarters, where Rufire is now acting as top shifting of the SDP. I'm talking about the party he officially joined about 2 months ago, thereabout. So Rufire believes that there's still so many of his pals in APC, his pals in other places, that including the sitting, or should I say, the current lawmakers, right? So he said a lot. So to Rufire, he is not responsible for bringing about Tinubu. It is actually the judiciary that foisted Tinubu on you. You only played a role expected of a supposed party member, but the judiciary They ignored all the obvious. That's what he said. Anyway, so he also believes that if the democracy in that contraption collapse, right, definitely it is because the judiciary allowed it. So from their headquarters in the SDP, where all this set took place. So let's start from there tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Prince, welcome. Prince, and General Momo. Since I joined the Social Democratic Party on the 10th of March, I have been gratified by the reception of Nigerians and love expressed for the party. It seems clear to me that most Nigerians have lost hope in both the APC and the PDP and are looking for a credible alternative. And the history and the pedigree of the SDP is such that it is that potential alternative. With my joining of the party and many other credible politicians, I think many people see the party as the hope of the future, as that democratic party that will finally put people first rather than politicians first. So there has been an influx of people into the party, but as part of that influx, we also expect that the sitting government and the ruling party will try to inject viruses into the party to create crisis, as it has done, or as they have done in the Labour Party, in NNPP and the PDP. So we have to manage the influx into our party. We have to be very thorough and carry out due diligence, particularly with regards to those that will be entrusted with the leadership of the party. And we expect, as new people move into the party, the system of integrating with the old leadership would be a challenge, because people like to be leaders, whether they deserve it or not. So we have to listen to everybody and we have to evaluate the quality of people, but this is something that we will resolve. We have done that before when I was part of those that were founding members of the APC. We had to navigate those challenges of trying to get harmonized structures reflecting three political parties, ACN, ANPP, and CPC, as well as breakaway factions of the PDP, ABGA, and DPP. So this is normal. It's part of the challenges of leadership, but I'm confident that we'll resolve it without any problem, by the grace of God.
The SDP is well. The SDP is stable. The SDP is sound. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and of course, by extension, good afternoon, Nigeria. Well, of course, we're members representing our various constituencies in Nasarawa State on the platform of the Social Democratic Party. And I guess for introduction's sake, I'm Honorable Gaza Jonathan Befi. I represent the people of Koolu, Kefi, Kokona Federal Constituency of Nasarawa State.
And my name is Honorable Abubakar Sarki Dahiru. I represent Lafia of the Federal Constituency. I'm from Nasarawa State.
And of course, with us is our chairman, Alhaji Danlami, the chairman of SDP in Nasarawa State. As I was saying, and as I fondly say anytime I'm speaking on the floor of the House of Representatives, I proudly represent this party, and I say, without any fear or favor, the most stable party in Nigeria today. I'm aware of the press release that was made. For whatever reason that happened, I'm sure we will. SDP is a party based on discipline, integrity, and fundamental values are things we hold there. We would not hesitate, and I would say we would not hesitate to make sure we get to the bottom of it. But whether it was a mistake, whether it was done intentionally for...
That was Rufire's new party, right? Because right away, some people felt like he's coming to hijack their party. So they put out a statement that Rufire has no place in their party to negotiate any coalition. So in order to save face, they decided to put out a statement, of course, yesterday, to say, well, whoever did that, we didn't send them. Rufire did, like Koolu put it, the devil himself. Hi. Like I'm actually going to witness Rufire repackaged because of your 2027. Man, it's going to be interesting to see, interesting to watch. Rufire. Kaduna little finger. Really? And I'll let that guy finish though, because it's after that Rufire also mounted a podium where he told everybody, we will send Tifnumbu, or we'll make sure Tifnumbu goes back to Lagos in 2027. But he also said they are going to keep Tifnumbu's minister, Tijani, the one that is doing Google AI with generator. Anyway.
And also, we stand with the National Working Committee, who are equally doing very, very well. I commend all of you. Thank you very much, and God bless.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Well, I'm not holding sway for anybody. We speak in our capacities, by God's grace, as leaders on this great platform, the Social Democratic Party. And I want to say, without fear or favor, just as I said, I had interacted with the chairman. He has spoken to me. He has spoken to us. And he has told us, in line with that, they had just been confirmed, the press release that was given on behalf of the chairman. For whatever reason, I'm sure at the appropriate time, he would speak to the press. But if he has spoken through a channel that is recognized by the Constitution, I believe it is as good as him speaking, more so that the speech actually came from within these premises, being the official media house of the Social Democratic Party. Now, with regards to what you said, flip-flop, one thing I appreciate about the laws is that the law has made it clear that party issues are internal issues. It's a family issue. Even if there be any issue, which I do not believe there is, but even if there be any, we're definitely going to solve it within. And of course, in every political structure, just like in any family, there's a father. The father is the head of the home. And I believe in this party, the head of this party, the structure, the organizational structure of this party is the chairman. And if the chairman has made a statement, I believe that is what you should take to the bank, and not what any other person says. That's number one. Number two, you have organs in this party. There's the National Working Committee. I believe the National Working Committee, majority of the members would have made their statements to affirm the position of the chairman. But just as I said, I am not holding sway for the chairman. I'm not a member of the National Working Committee. We are members of NEC. So, at the appropriate time, when NEC is invited, we'll be able to make our own statements on behalf of what is happening in the party. But for now, we have interacted with the highest...
The entire team came to Katsina yesterday, not only to work with the Katsina State government to carry out last-minute checks for preparation of this event, but they had to come without me. Because yesterday at 8 p.m. there was a very important meeting of the coalition we are putting together to ensure that President Tinubu goes back to Lagos, though we still keep the 40%. Alright, we'll still keep the minister because he's doing good work, okay, but I'll come to that. So I had to attend that meeting at 8 p.m. and the Katsina airport does not operate after 8 p.m. so I couldn't come until this morning. We are booked to travel on Rano Air to arrive here about 9:30. Rano just cancelled. I think he must.
Nuisance, Lele.
Did you hear him? That's how you are going to know that the devil is himself, right? Hell, Rufire, Kaduna, little finger. You know who is Tijani? What's that his name again? I've forgotten his full name again. He's a minister under Tifnumbu, Minister of Communication. Yeah, the one that wants to use AI, right? To pilot agriculture in a country where, country of over 200 million people, where they are generating 5,000 megawatt electricity. And that's the person that is doing well to Rufire. We are going to make sure we send President Tinubu back to Lagos, or goes back to Lagos. Or we'll keep Tijani. Do you get that? It's got top full in, isn't it? So he said they are putting together a coalition because he's very much like playing an important role in that. He's very much involved. And he's in a position to speak on that. But others have said, no, he's not in any authority to speak on anything. Rufire is a snake. And this is not even about people not liking him or not, okay? It's actually about his personality, his life. You can't ignore that, right? So, and he is also a liar too. I'm talking about a chronic liar using, what do we call that thing again? Oh no, it's called Fatia or so, no. You know what I mean? Like that part where they had to pretend that, they are allowed, as it said, that they are allowed to lie to the people, false representation, right? So Rufire is that. However, there is also a guy who also claimed to be involved in their coalition talk. And that person is the guy who bought Tifnumbu's presidential ticket in APC then, the grass cutter, Babashir Lawal, the guy who stole 242 million naira cutting grass around the people, the IDP camp. Then when he got shocked, when Tifnumbu decided to go and pick Shittiman, a terrorist sympathizer, as his running mate or his vice, pushing the agenda of a Muslim ticket. So he himself says he's part of a coalition talk. And that coalition talk hasn't really chosen any platform, but it's talking about PDP. Babashir Lawal on this dear coalition talk.
Well, first of all, regarding Atiku, I'm not his spokesman. But my stand with Atiku is that, we are from the same state, and he's an elder statesman in my state in particular. He was a former vice president, an eminent politician. And so, to that extent, I have great respect for him as a politician, as an elder from my state. As to his political ambition, he's entitled to it, like every Nigerian that is entitled to it. It is not for me to decide on which platform Atiku will contest, or if he will contest at all. It's for him and his inner circle to decide. Be that as it may, I can confirm that in almost most of the political meetings I've attended with regards to merger or a new political platform. I've run into Alhaji Abubakar Atiku severally. He's been attending. Even just yesterday, I was at one of such meetings, and he was there. So he has been an active participant in the need for opposition political parties to move into one platform to form one strong opposition party. Whether he will contest on that platform or not is not the issue. Now, the way about this is we have a technical committee of experts, experienced experts, who analyze all the possible political parties we could adapt and move in, and strengthen it, and upgrade it, and make it more suitable for competitive elections. That's our main goal. And Atiku has presented himself at all such meetings, and my reading of him is that he's committed to this cause. In fact, he's one of the most committed towards this cause. This I can tell you about Atiku. Now, as to the coalition itself, it is mostly driven by prominent politicians who agree to come together to form this coalition. It is not focused on which political party should form the merger. First, our options are this. Do we get another party that we could move into, modify it, upgrade it, and strengthen it for elections? Or do we register a new political party? We have technical committees of experts looking into both of these. And I am sure, as we speak, we are getting to the end of the process, and I think we'll soon announce a party that will move into, or maybe we'll register a new party. We are getting to the end of that. Nigerians are anxious about this. Every time we go out, people ask you, what of platform, what of platform? Since we are here to serve the people, we are speeding up the process to reduce the tension among our supporters. But I can tell you, in all the analysis I've seen so far, nobody has ever bothered about let's adopt PDP as the platform. We all agree that PDP has an incurable virus. No antibiotic can cure what is ailing PDP. And we don't want to go into a house that we cannot modify, that is not willing to change. So PDP is not in that.
Bashir Lawal, brethren. You see that guy? Don't underrate him. His work rate is really, really impressive. He is a criminal, right? Like documented criminal. However, he is considered as one of the unlucky ones. Let me tell you his story. From nowhere, from the blues, behind the scene, right? Bukwari picked him among the first 3 appointments of Bukwari in 2015. And he made him the secretary to the government of the Federation, the secretary to the government of Nigeria. A very powerful position if you care. Against the advice or advices or pressure from the usual caliphate, because Bashir Lawal is a Christian from Adamawa. So when he became the secretary to the government of the Federation, he was personally, right, saddled with the responsibility of caring for the victims of Boko Haram. For you to know this, so Bukwari set up what he called Northeast Development Commission. And the purpose then was to ensure that the victims of Boko Haram who were living in IDP camps were returned back home safely to their communities. And those communities destroyed by the Boko Haram, whose houses and the rest were destroyed or burned down, should be rebuilt. And billions of naira, of course, was budgeted for it. Until Bukwari became very sick. And on one occasion that Bukwari went to London, he handed over power to Pastor Ruga. If you remember. Then the Saraki's National Assembly started a probe okay, a probe of how the money meant for these victims of Boko Haram should be spent. And, of course, Babashir Lawal was indicted. When they started releasing the looting that took place in his office, which I don't really have to go into detail, but there's a particular one that actually stands out. That was using 242 million naira to clear grass in IDP camp. Yep, camp. It may sound somehow like somewhere organized, camp. Maybe government put it. No. Victims of Boko Haram who ran away from their communities, right, ended up in abandoned buildings, abandoned schools. They occupied them, inhabitable places. They occupied them. And those are the places called IDP camps in Nigeria. There is no real camp built to serve these victims of terrorism, right? This guy used 242 million naira to clear grass around them. Yeah? And then he got caught. To cover up, they had to send the Air Force, Nigeria Air Force, to go and bomb one of the supposed IDP camps in Ran in Borno State. They bombed an IDP, or supposed IDP camp 4 times, not once, not twice, not 3 times, 4 times. And they said it was a mistake because they thought it was the gathering of Boko Haram, just to cover up all the roots in all the. Until he was finally sacked. And to him, it's like, I'm not saying I'm a saint. How much did I steal? How much are we talking about? Do you know how much money these guys actually ended up stealing? So that was why he left Buhari's camp and teamed up with Tinubu's camp in the same APC. But Tinubu also, again, shocked him by picking a Muslim ticket, something that he personally said is totally against his own faith and, the law of fairness and all that. In case some of you don't know, it was Babashir Lawal and others that contributed money and bought, what do you call it? Tinubu's APC ticket at the time. And of course, he also ended up having to give his backing. Once Tinubu chose a Muslim, just ended up with Peter Obi, the obedient movement. Long story. And his reaction to Tinubu going to the Vatican, going to Rome for Pope's inauguration, is considered an insult, a total insult, according to Babashir Lawal, by the way. Listen to that.
Well, Ruben, you've been in government before, and you know how governments are run. You know that going to see the Pope is just a matter of your lobby. How well you can lobby, how many friends you have out there in the Vatican that can lobby for you. So it is not as if it's a major achievement to visit the Pope on his inauguration. It can be arranged in advance by lobbies, probably with the correct inducement. So Bola Tinubu going to visit the Pope is a non-issue. In fact, it reinforces my earlier belief that the Muslim ticket is an insult to Christianity. Had they a Christian as a vice president, it's only expected that he will be the one to represent the government. But now in Nigeria, we have a so-called Muslim visiting the Pope, leading a delegation of Catholics, eminent Catholics, to the Vatican. So it proves the fact that a Muslim ticket is an unfair arrangement. Having said that, about people defecting to the APC, in politics, there are 2 classes of people. Those who go into politics to get something out of it, and those who get into politics to put something into it. Yes, again, I must say, it's not every Nigerian that can withstand hunger, and not every Nigerian can survive a poverty condition. So most of these politicians that are defecting to APC are probably driven by the desire to safeguard their stomachs and to safeguard their luxurious lifestyles that have acquired while in government using the people's money. So it's to them, It's okay. They can go that way. That's what they choose to do. Now, as to defection, I saw a study last week that showed that 21 governors could not deliver their states to their preferred presidential candidates, which means that the governors have little influence on the voter at the polling unit. Yes, within the party political system, they have some influence since they can rig the party primaries in favor of their candidates. So a senator, for example, who is out of favor with his governor is endangered in that sense. His governor might not give him the return ticket. He can just order everybody not to vote for him. But no governor can influence the voter. Take, for example, Delta State. The vice presidential candidate for PDP was the governor, serving governor on seat. But he could not deliver. Peter Obi beat them flat. I mean, flat. In those days, they said they would deposit if it were during the Obasanjo. So what is it? There are states. In Borno State, it's very well known that the vice president could not deliver Borno State to the APC until they did some magic on the results and so that he's not embarrassed. But we know, the voter knows he had been disgraced woefully. So defection is not, it's just a function of the character of the person. It's a function of the character. Somebody without character will easily abandon you when his interest is threatened, rather than when the interests of the masses are threatened. So that is my position. We are not bothered about defections. It will continue to happen. But I mean, 2027 will go to the ballot boxes and we'll see the results. We are confident that it's immaterial.
But what do you say to the critics who say that you are arrogant, you are a religious bigot, and that you should remain silent? What do you say to them? Because I've seen many comments like that.
Abati, I'm a trained pastor. I went to a seminary 4 years. I came out with a degree in it. I augmented my religious background with a master's degree in theology. So if you call me a Christian religious bigot, I'm very happy. It's a compliment. It means that my lifestyle, my speeches convey the impression that I'm a Christian. So I don't see calling me a religious bigot as an insult. Again, I will not countenance anybody denigrating my religion in any way, in any shape or form, be it in politics or in other aspects of life. If you come out and say a Christian from the North cannot, or the Christianity in the North cannot produce a vice president, it's an insult, and it's to my religion and to my person. So it's a compliment if people call me a religious bigot, because as a Christian, I stand for the truth, which a Christian should do, and I stood for the truth, and I defended my religion, and as God will have it, for those who supported the religion, Muslim ticket because they are Muslims, we go to the same market, and I think majority of them grumble now more than me. Majority of them go to bed without food yesterday, this morning, tomorrow without food, don't know where they are going to get their next meal. So if that is what their religion preaches, you vote people who will push it to poverty, let them have their way. Well,
Babashir Lawal, or pastor. We can actually refer to him as a pastor, Babashir Lawal now. He said he studied, he's got masters in theology. See, religion is actually not the problem. It is the people practicing it. Fortunately, Nigeria has one of the worst, if not the worst characters as their leaders. And they are very religious too. The irony. Pastors, they steal public money. But he will still close his eyes, read the Lord's Prayer. And still believe that he's, so that's why some of us who don't believe in any religion, right, will keep wondering that what exactly do these people fear if they don't fear the God that they profess commitment to. I mean, if somebody who is not religious, right, is stealing public fund, they can say it's because it's not closer to God. But everywhere you turn in that contraption, they are either deacons, deaconesses, alaji, alaja, imam, sheiki, pastor, what's the like religious this and that. Sure, shepherd, prophet, cardinal, pope, all these things. They have all different titles. And within this space, they have the darkest, the most horrible kind of heart you can come by. Nigeria didn't happen by accident. All these things you are witnessing in that place, they are not happening by accident or coincidence. They are not happening because you are a sinner. It is because they are happening simply because the flawed characters that, the people who are supposed to be the symbol of morality in the society have degenerated so much that they stink. The stench reaches heaven, high heaven, you will say. So Bashir Lawal is not a pushover. That's also something you should know. Okay, he's just one unlucky bastard, I would say, because to him, comparing him, with some of what those with Bukwari did, right? He is seeing himself as a saint, even though in an effort to cover up, they had to kill innocent people. People running away from Boko Haram and then got blown up into pieces simply because public officials want to cover up fraud. He is walking free today. He's never tried. The entire investigation was probably abandoned, I would say. That was the end of it. But Bashir Lawal is not a pushover. He is somebody who is really, really involved. And if he says that, they are contemplating on how to get rid of Tifnubu, don't think that's just a joke. And as for Tifnubu himself, he returned back last night. This time they didn't do the usual show us video of Koolu. They had to use image, like they had to join pictures. Now I have questions. Is this even real? I didn't have enough time to go and check if I have seen those pictures before. We're asking that where is a Koolu, where is a Tifnubu, right? And then this morning, they said Tifnubu returned last night. But why are you now using pictures that you join together to make it look like a video, added a sound or something? Like, why? Because right now, even though it is still unconfirmed, I know some of you are already commenting it, coup in Ivory Coast, Côte d'Ivoire. So there's a report that the president of Côte d'Ivoire, Outtarra, is currently missing. He's not been heard from in the last 24 hours. Now, before that, last night, there were reports of, gunshots, artillery, shelling, and all of that stuff in their state, in their country's capital yesterday. But we have not really received comprehensive reports of if indeed there is a coup going on in Côte d'Ivoire. Remember that? You remember that, what's his name again? I can't remember his name, but I will describe him. That guy who is the head of the American AFRICOM, that is African Communication Center, the guy that wants Traore removed, Burkina Faso invaded because of their gold, right? He's been visiting so many of these West African countries, soliciting for their support on how to do it themselves, rather than send an American, what have you, or sending their own troop to do the job. They would rather Africans do it, so that like what they say, they have to use one of us to kill the rest of us, so that they can say it is us killing us. Do you understand? Like, it will just be like Africa versus Africa, you get. And then when they kill yourself, burn everywhere down, they will say Africa versus Africa. Not that kind of. So the guy has been visiting some of these African despots, and these African criminals, soliciting for their support and taking pictures with them as well. So Outtarra is considered as enemy of Africa by this, sort of like a context, so to say. So the news of coup taking place in Ivory Coast is what some are currently calling a revolution, if it is true. But like I said, you probably have confirmed it. I have not confirmed it, but from the pieces of information creeping out of the place, right? It's been confirmed indeed that there were gunshots at the the country's capital last night. Anyway, they were also preparing to have an election soon as well. They were already campaigning to get rid of Outtarra, that is a puppet of France. Okay, and if for any reason that Côte d'Ivoire falls to the revolution, this military revolution, like Burkina Faso, well, hopefully France will understand that this is just like they say in Yoruba. This is just a sign for them to possibly, honorably, right, either renegotiate their presence in Africa, especially West Africa, or just call it quits. It's over. It's done, right? From what we picked up from Burkina Faso, by the way, right? Let me share this with you from that place.
On est fatigué de la situation dans laquelle nous sommes. On est fatigué parce que le marché coûte cher. On est fatigué parce que nos enfants ne travaillent pas. On est fatigué parce que nous, les mamans, nous n'en pouvons plus. La situation du pays, nos enfants sont sous l'emprise de la drogue. Nos maris n'ont pas de travail. Nous-mêmes, nous n'arrivons pas à nous en sortir. On est fatigué, on veut un pays de paix. On veut que tous les candidats soient inscrits sur la liste électorale. Le président, a commencé par le président Diable, qu'il soit inscrit sur la liste électorale. Parce qu'aujourd'hui, la justice a reconnu que le président Diable est ivoirien. Donc, on est fatigué que tous les opposants soient inscrits sur la liste électorale pour que les Ivoiriens puissent faire le choix. Le président, on est fatigué de la dictature. On est fatigué de la dictature. On est fatigué de la dictature. On est fatigué parce qu'on est dans un pays de démocratie. On veut la paix. On veut la paix. On veut la paix. On veut que Titi soit inscrit sur la liste électorale. Titi ou rien. Titi ou rien. Il a qu'à venir à Côte d'Ivoire pour nous surveiller. Nos enfants ne travaillent plus. Nos enfants sont là à l'école. Ils ne travaillent plus. Ils sont en train de jouer des conneries. Pardonnez. Il a qu'à venir, nos enfants vont travailler. Il n'y a pas de travail. Nos enfants n'ont qu'à avoir de travail.
force spéciale qui gagne. Ah, c'est moi qui donne ça. La force spéciale. Quand on dit en fait là, c'est grâce à Dieu. Voilà. La force spéciale. La force spéciale.
So like I said, we do not have any concrete proof that the coup took place, or whether it failed or it's successful. But the pieces of information coming out of that country shows that a lot is going down there, like going down, you know. So their presidency whereabouts is currently unknown. Outtarra's whereabouts is unknown. Some said he's been killed. Others said he's fled. Ivory Coast. None of this can be confirmed, or by myself, I haven't confirmed any of this. But somehow, people are already celebrating it because they want it to be true. Because according to them, enough of this imperialism in Africa. You know what I mean? And that is, if military coup in Ivory Coast is true, that it finally comes to pass, right? People want it to be. And some are already saying, especially those ones from Nigeria, God, when? Me as a person, no. Even though I am very much inconsequential, so don't kind of lose your shit on me because of that, okay? I am not somebody in support of any military takeover, especially in that contraption. But people are already asking, God, why? God, when? When is it going to be the turn of Nigeria? But the thing is this. You won't want to, I mean, I'm going to probably try to see how people will be convinced that it is the right thing when you wake up tomorrow morning and the next thing you hear on your TV or radio or wherever you is that fellow Nigerians, this is, and you're like, what? Who's that? It's a fellow Nigerians. That's not going to go the way it used to be in the past, though. But somehow, there are people in Nigeria who don't actually care. They are tired of being lied to about this fake democracy. Democracy that has stolen all of their rights, right? The right, the right to, associate, right to associate, right to, all this right to assembly, like, peaceful assembly is called, right? Right to free speech, speak your mind. All these rights have become luxury on the continent of Africa, especially the West Africa, where they are pushing the idea of this democracy, that. So people are no longer moved. People seems not to give a damn about your democracy. So if they hear that even Ghana, that is relatively stable, if they hear coup for Ghana, you'll be shocked at the response or the reactions of people. This is how much your democracy is damaged. Democracy was supposed to be the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. It's turned to the government of the elite, by the elite, for themselves, for criminals, or government of criminals, by criminals, for criminals, right? That's exactly what it is, because so it's no longer really popular per se. Elections, elections in Africa, especially West Africa as well, right? It's actually not election, but selections. Even those who go there as observers have written their report to say, well, this is not an election, but they have a standard for Africa. That's another nonsense. So Yibos, they have a standard for Africa. They will see where something that will never take or happen in their own country, right? They will see all of that happen, right? In Africa, they will say, well, the election is still very much free and fair. It's African standard election. So democracy is becoming unpopular because of what those who are supposed to nurture it in Africa, because of what they make of it, unfortunately, right? Because it is also in a democracy that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been going through the persecution of states that everybody is aware of, right? Normally they will say, oh, if you feel like your rights is infringed upon, all you have to do is to go to court. In a democracy, right, it is the court that is the last, is that the word? Last hope of the, yeah, I think that's the saying, last hope of common man. Even non-common man too. But with what they have turned your supposed democracy to in that contraption, you can't say you have a democracy, can you? The trial of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu continued today with so much back and forth of, unnecessary sort of like distractions, right? So eventually, the court adjourned the case until tomorrow or today. They had a complaint about us here on social media having access to what transpired in the courtroom where the sham trial is taking place. So they are pretty much upset enough that they nearly or almost stopped any form of transcription being shared with us. As usual, something that gives us the idea or the concept of us being involved in that trial. But still, right? It's a bit of a snippet for you. But first thing, let's go to that court now, okay? And see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, his own legal team during and after what happened today. Let's go.
Yes. Okay, let me make it for you. Yes, it's fine.
What is that time? That's according to me. Go and cover something. Oh, exactly. That way. You just stand here. Okay, just. So you're a presenter, okay.
Let us go.
Can you come down?
Alright, so far so good. Just,
Sir.
Yes. Alright, so far so good. Just give us a lowdown on what has happened today. How did things go?
Okay, things went well. We continued the cross-examination of BBB. Today is day 2 of his cross-examination, and we'll be back here tomorrow to continue and hopefully proceed with other witnesses.
That's all.
Thank you.
Right. Now, let me tell you from what I gathered, right, happened in the courtroom today. I'm trying to see if I should call him justice or injustice, because at the end of the day, they are all the same. And anyway, the judge, right, vowed that he was going to make the retrial ordered by the Supreme Court, it was going to make it very speedy and it's going to be smooth. He's not going to entertain any form of intentional, deliberate sort of delays or distractions and all that. Because according to him, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been treated badly. So that's why I'm like, should I call him justice or an injustice or so? Anyway, for now, let's call him justice or motor show. So the prosecution team came in and they said they had a problem with how the transcription of the case is making it to the social media, meaning they have a problem with us having the first-hand information of what transpired, the cross-examination of the false witnesses that they have assembled or lined up against Nnamdi Kanu. In the process, his only good team also reacted, of course, and the judge had to call all of them to order, as well as Ejimako, one of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's lawyers, called them to order that, listen, I would not want any form of delay, distraction, or any other tactic in this court. So they apologized that, you know what, they will let him handle it. That is the judge. But eventually, by the way, we had a copy, a tiny copy of the cross-examination of this witness, BBB, as the lawyer said. So currently, one of their cases, or one of their supposed allegations against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, which this particular witness is currently being cross-examined on, is that it was Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that incited the violence that followed the NSAS protest. You get that now? Like they are trying to say he is the one that incited violence after the Nigerian police, Nigerian military shot and killed over 500 protesters. So they want to put it on him. They don't need any evidence. They said they will add the copy of his broadcast. His broadcast, like everyone else who was reacting to the surprise massacre of the protesters by this murderous regime of Boko Haram at the time. Now they are trying to kind of put that on him that he was the one who told people to react. Of course, it's going to be say trash. Yeah. Like the last time when the SAN Kanu Agabi, the senior lawyer to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's the senior lawyer, the lead counsel, trashed the same witness. There was another, what do you call it, another member of the legal team that questioned this DSS witness this time. Now, I will read that back to you, like word for word, as usual, okay? So that, yeah, it's called cosplay. So I can take you to the courtroom and make you feel like you were there as well. This temporary moment, okay? So Paul Erokoro is the one who led the team today, like, you know, to cross-examine this counsel, right? So, and the conversation went thus. Said, the cross-examination of the witness today was relied on the Lagos accusation that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu incited the destruction of properties. So, the defense counsel, this part is the defense counsel part, sorry, not the prosecutor. So the defense counsel, which is Paul Erokoro, said, you said he incited people to burn properties in Lagos. Witness BBB. Yes. Defense counsel. How many buses were burnt? What are their plate numbers? What are the models of the buses? At least, what is the name of the one person who took part in the burning of those buses? Witness. I don't know. I'm not aware. Erokoko. You mentioned the burning of high courts and the airport. Can you tell us the names of those who burnt any of these properties? Witness. I don't know. I only know they followed its order. The first counsel. You said, are you aware that retired General T.Y. Danjuma at a point urged the Nigerians to defend themselves? Witness. I am aware, but I can't remember his exact words. Defense. Are you aware of the DG of DSS, Adeola Ajayi? He also told Nigerians to defend themselves. Witness. I am not aware. Right. The DG made this remark in Azare community where the community fought back and killed many Boko Haram terrorists. Is it not the same thing that the defendant was saying in the broadcast, that when someone wants to kill you, kill them? The witness, I'm not aware. But what I know is that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's broadcast is not about self-defense. So that was his last response. So the defense counsel then said, like you heard or saw in that video, that they will continue tomorrow. So the part of today was all about the argument of what should be accepted, what should not be, what should be discontinued or what should not be discontinued. So tomorrow is another day. That's the bit, right? From the sham trial of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in Nigeria today. There's a community in Delta who have suffered so much. They have suffered so greatly in the hands of the Fulani terrorists that Delta State, where they are also oil producing states, among other problems facing them, right? This particular one has now prompted some of their DBS to hit the streets. They said that they caused the terrorists. I don't know how this works though, right? Maybe this is the defend yourself kind. This is the type of defend yourself, idea. that this your criminal leaders in Nigeria will prefer than you picking up an arm and defend yourself against the marauding terrorists, right? From a community called Isele Uku in Delta State.
Please, bro. Shift your hand back so that we need space. Okay, from here, shift. How many times the poor? Just more than go back. Go back so that media can cover it. Watch out so well. Yes. Okay. Nico. Cross Nico. Let these guys go back now. You can watch over. Only Hundia so that they can catch up. I beg. Bros, Biko. Hey.
I don't know how to describe it, but some would say it is, their tradition, their belief system. But those guys were causing the terrorists, terrorizing their lives. I don't know which one is worse or funnier. There's a woman that was also praying to stop a fire, though, in that Nigeria too.
This one has gone beyond. It has gone beyond. Hello? Hello, I'm listening to you. Hello? Card. I don't know if you know that salon place. There's one salon here. So it's just the next building after the salon. God, and is that light now? Is that low current they gave us that I was talking about? That this is the kind of thing that used to burn things. It's the low current though. Now they have tried to. It has gone to one level now. They cannot quench anything. They're just trying to bring out some things they can bring. And the people in the house are not even around. Hi, God.
I don't know which one. It's more foolish, shall be funnier. But it is Nigeria. Just have to take it in. But it's not always the same everywhere, though. In another community where they are facing the same insecurity, right? The youth actually took it upon themselves, organized themselves, right? To protect their own community in their own way. Listen to this.
Because last time that I when a lot of complaints. In the Amankota Security Network, members of Amankota Security Network. So I when a series of complaints from our mothers. Then I be on, then I go on. On a man here time of farming. I go on a farm. So I when a lot of complaints from most of them. The way in the Fulani disturb her, no, and the Hakoga. No, in fact, even this morning while I was coming, now side the Ozafoba de Shabiamankota. And when occasionally Otu Namashi la money no corona farm. Near no there yesterday. When I returned na ebe farm eba lekwe nama the Fulani here the whole money neba. And the worst part of it, Nama Panyadi and the Fulani Guzureba Nele Hanya. They keep watching them while they destroy the crops. So that's in Ekwahani Odidi. And this morning, like I told the security members, and I gaga all the thick forests and whatever, farmland. Because last year we buy chopper on the other side. So I know what information I had the small. So I galeba this morning. We didn't see them. So Anya Pokula know that we are not going to give them that chance to continue to intimidate us in our own land. Such nonsense will not happen in our own time. So this morning, we have gone round with the security members in virtually all the farmlands anyway. And those Fulani herdsmen were nowhere to be found, but we have spotted areas. And we want to use this opportunity to call on the state government to tell them that Amankota community is a no-go area for Fulani herdsmen, as far as we are concerned, because these people have really intimidated us in our own land, and such nonsense we're not going to take it lightly. So Biko, we are using this opportunity to call on the state government to tell whoever that is involved, whoever that is in charge of these Fulani herdsmen, that we don't need further destruction of our farmlands again. We don't need it. And today, we want to let them know that today we have formed what is called Forest Guard. And now form one hand about Forest Guard today in Amankota. And we're going to extend SEM in Mbiri. As I meet with all the youth present by next week, we are also going to take the same decision to making sure that all the towns, all the communities in Alambiri, they were covered. We don't want further destruction of our farmlands. Since they don't know how to go about with their cows, we now let them know that our mothers cannot suffer, and after suffering for months, then by the time they need to, they ought to go to farm and harvest their crops.
They get destroyed. See, there is something about Igbo language. I don't know what it is like for the people who are like core Igbos who never really mingled with anyone from outside. I'm talking about those of you who are like younger. I don't know, maybe the older guys do that too, right? There's something about the language. I do not understand a lot of it. But when they are speaking it, you see that way they are always mixing English plus Igbo, English plus Igbo. There's no way you won't understand what they are saying. Like, it is almost the same with a lot of them. You know? I was trying to write something that it said something like security members, Ananya Gaga, right? So it was practically talking about the security guys and, you know, what they intend to, or what they were doing. I was picking some up, I don't want to like mess it up for you. So that's one. And indeed, I love somebody's advice earlier who said that deal with them in secret. deal with them behind the scene and let them be the ones to come out and complain. And that's a very wonderful idea and advice too. You get what I mean? So I advise a lot of our people to deal with these menace, these terrorists, deal with them your own way, however you want. Let them be the ones to make videos, not you making a video of you dealing with them. It's important. You know, wisdom is, what do you call it? Anyway, let's go to something else, all right? And this time, we are stopping by in Edo State, where new market in Edo State, the supposed shop owners, store owners in new market in Edo State have been given the notice. So they were told that the Yaloja and the states, you know, Yaloja, that's Tifnumbu. Yaloja and the state want to renovate the market, but others believe that it is just an excuse to get rid of them and give them their shops and stores, okay, to, what do you call it? So some people who could pay on the streets of Benin today.
Me sef no go gree, oh, I no go gree. May they block road, oh, I no go gree.
Yeah, they started removing the the roofs of their stores. If they won't leave, maybe when they remove all of the roofing and all that, they will leave. Similarly, a women group, or should I say, yeah, women's group, they came out today to demand for the sack of this man.
All those who miss that examination for whatever reason, the 5.something%, we will package them with the mop-up. And it is for that reason we have also decided that even those who missed the earlier initial exam, who are absent, we will extend this opportunity to them to also receive.
But the women, no, right? They want the entire process cancelled and rescheduled. And while that is ongoing, Oloyede should be fired. That's their demand.
We are here today as civil society organizations, as women's group, as parents, as teachers, as concerned citizens in Enugu State to register our displeasure with the ongoing saga at JAMB and UTM. Our children have had enough. We have been traumatized. They have been traumatized. You see people committing suicide, depression, mental problem, all because of JAMB. And we are asking JAMB, you don't deploy technology selectively. And you don't sit for exams selectively. Exam that you want to adjudge fair, everybody must have uniform exam. So when JAMB admitted responsibility for the glitch of human error, whatever they call it, we said that was good and way forward. But seeing them within 2 days, we fixed another exam without full analysis of what went wrong, and then just without even thinking about the parents, about the current hardship in the country, about people affordability, just impose exam. What still, they impose exam and put a time unknown to law. 6 a.m., 6:30. Do people take exam this early? No official opening of even for work, for exam and everything. And then you put it in a time, even in the southeast, there is so much insecurity. And then you exposed our children, our words, to all form of hardship. Some people are still missing as we speak. And our heart is bleeding. Our heart is very heavy. Enough is enough. And what we are calling today at JAMB office is to tell them that they have to cancel the exam. Total cancellation, and they will put another date if at all JAMB will continue. Then JAMB has to be phased out. It has let different universities organize exams, and people can choose the universities closest to them. We are worried that, leave sentiment aside, because Nigeria, we get too sentimental. We are not just talking, this is not about personalization or the person of Professor Oluyede. We know he's a good man. But we are talking of an institution and systemic failure of an institution. I'm a teacher, I'm a law professor. If you take an exam and then you have how many people failing, because below 200 is not a pass mark, then you ask yourself question, out of 1.9, 1.5 something failed to score over 200, 78% and above. Isn't it time that you put in your thinking cap and say what well? And it's been like this. Education is a fundamental human right, and there is an obligation on government, whether state, federal, at all levels, to make sure that this education is accessible, is affordable. Yes, and it is for all, inclusive, without leaving anyone behind. Leave no one behind.
Do you understand? 1.9 million children sat for UTME, JAMB, and 1.5, nearly 1.6 million of them failed. Only to be discovered later that the glitch they are talking about is actually intentionally directed at a certain, demography. That has been argued. Some say, no, don't tribalize it. Don't this and that. Shut up your mouth, man. Stop gaslighting people. Stop telling people what they know and start telling them that it's not true. That's gaslighting. It is deliberate. But the guy is doubling down, and it is Nigeria. What can they do? Yeah? Now let's leave that again and stop by in Delta. We're still in Delta, okay? Where Atifu's former vice presidential candidate, running mates, that is Okowa. Now, Okowa went back to his own community as a former governor and supposedly as their leader too, to meet with the women and to discuss with them why he joined APC. The next 17 seconds of video probably should tell you their answer if you want to. So he was begging them. But that one is fair. I said, this is a poor man Peking that got picked up from the gutters 8 years ago by Devulumayi in a boy. His name is Unwoboshi. No, is that his name? His name is Unwoboshi. Something like that. He's the guy who left the conversation around the allegation against Akpabioli and started attacking Natasha. He was the one who came by to say Natasha had 5 children for 5 men. What are you talking about? He's a very useless guy that was picked. It was like, like the rung of the ladder, a political jobber that was picked. Also an illiterate, a nuisance that was picked up by another guy, another nuisance called Devulumayi. He's a senator today. But somehow, this Ebonyi senator is upset with the poor people, like the way he described them, okay? So he's making a proposal at their Senate house that, you see all those indigenous people that have their houses or properties at the outskirts of Abuja. They say when you fly into Abuja, you start seeing all those poor people houses. Nwoboshi wants all of them relocated because it's an eyesore. How can you be landing in Abuja and be seeing dirty houses? I mean, these poor people. Why do we have these poor people here? People who are flying in. That's going to give them impression that we are poor people. We are not poor people. But in Senator, we won't make them relocate all the poor people who get houses outside Abuja. Because they are a stain, an embarrassment.
I remain Senator Peter Onyekachi Ebonyi with the golden crown of Ebonyi Senatorial Zone of Ebonyi State. Mr. President, I rise to support this bill, and I'm doing that considering what I can describe as total infrastructural transformation that is ongoing in FCT today. It therefore requires the cooperation of the Parliament to enable the Honorable Minister, Nyesom Wike, to continue his good works. Mr. President, digesting further the budgetary provision, we can see that much provisions are made for the infrastructural development of the capital city, which is the citadel of power for the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Another area I would like to use this medium to draw the attention of the FCT Minister is the people living within the Abuja airport. Mr. President, I want the FCT Minister to extend his infrastructural development of the city within the surroundings of the Abuja airport. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, if you are descending into Abuja airport, the inhabitants, the type of infrastructure within the environs, Your Excellency, does not represent the good image of this country. And I think that the FCT Minister should capture in their next budget, if not incorporated in this, to either relocate the inhabitants of the people within the airport or renew the area, at least, because that is the mirror of the country as we are descending into Abuja airport. Some of us, if we take into account to view the environs of the airport while descending into Abuja, you will agree with me, Excellency, there is an eyesore. It doesn't give good image of the nation, and I think something has to be done about it. So I urge all my colleagues to support this all-important bill, all geared towards transforming completely the FCT of Nigeria. Thank you.
So, no, if you are coming from the airport,
if you are descending,
the first place you see,
if you are descending,
let's take it gently.
Yes, let's see.
The first place you see on the right is the presidential wing. Thereafter, you come across a very beautiful flyover,
yes.
which is almost like a boulevard. You understand? And you will now descend towards the road that comes to the airport. Then when you get to the airport road, you now see 8 lanes,
yes,
complete with street lights,
yes.
particularly in the night. Very beautiful.
Yes.
And all that. So, which part gives you cramps in your stomach?
It's the back of the airport, yes, let's say. At the back of the airport.
That when you are inside the plane.
Yes, let's say.
That is somebody's village, oh.
Yes, let's say. But it's within the capital territory. No, and there is no how. If you are landing.
The owners of that village, those are their houses. That's what they can afford. But are you saying that we should go to those villages and evacuate them so that when your plane is coming down, what you will see high rises?
Your Excellency.
No, I want to understand.
Yes, Your Excellency.
You are talking about when you look out of the window.
Yes, Your Excellency.
You want to see beautiful Chinese infrastructure.
Yes, Your Excellency.
But that is what that place belongs to people.
No, Your Excellency, this is the capital territory of Nigeria. And we are talking of the image of the nation.
Okay, so the image of the nation starts with when your plane is descending.
Your Excellency.
And then you look at what happens in a place like Akwa Ibom. When you descend, you see water and you see creeks. So we should eliminate the creeks and close.
No, Your Excellency.
So that it will not spoil your eyes.
Your Excellency.
That is the image of the nation.
Your Excellency, everybody that uses Abuja Airport will agree with me, sir. But the issue is, what do we do? What do we do?
Okay. Distinguished colleagues, all those that use Abuja Airport, all those that use Abuja Airport, do you agree with him? Those in support say aye. No, those in support say aye. Those against say nay. The nays have it. So there's a lot of disagreement. This is Senator Abiru.
Well, Adimophobe this Unwaye Boy. His name is Unwaye Boy. A common political jobber, a political thug. Picked up from the gutters, like many of them were picked up anyway. Today he's a senator representing Ebonyi, and he has a problem with people's homes in their villages, because whenever he's descending, maybe he was sitting there in the VIP, feeling like, I see life, alive with this. So, then when he look at the side of the window, so, where are those? They say, well, that one has always been there. There are people living in Yanya village. Why are they there? That's their land. That's their indigenous people of that place. We need to remove them from there. In some week, we should let some week remove them from there. I can't even imagine that we have this kind of poor people settlement next to Abuja, the country's capital. That's same. And like somebody said, who would ever imagine that Akwabiole would actually like speak responsibly? Ask him some very responsible questions to say, are you being serious now, man? Like you are talking about when you are coming down from the plane. Like because of that, we should send people away from their land and all that. That can be serious, but who knows? Where the wicked probably have interest there too. Who knows? See the mofo. He's also the one who left the point of conversation to go and attack Natasha's family, and then made up several other lies. So Natasha has 5 children for 5 men. Like from where to where, Baba? From 0 to 100. Those are the kind of jewelries you have there making laws for you. He's a senator, one of the 109 senators of Nigeria. But more will leave that one. Okay, go to somewhere else. This time, I want to show you what it is like when we talk about the endless roadblocks set up in eastern part of Nigeria by different Nigeria's Nigeria's security agents, police, military, air force, navy, it's all of them, NDDC, not NDDC, NSCDC. But you can imagine that their purpose is not to actually prevent crime. It is to cause economic stagnation in that part of Nigeria. They've been doing it for years. Somebody captured this on camera. About in 3 minutes, there were about 3 checkpoints. And they were all doing the same thing, just collecting money from the travelers, the motorists in the eastern part of Nigeria.
That time we bunker, then they find they make money. You go carry small one, but use some joint body.
Most of them here, now what make them buy motor finish?
You mean for here? Yeah, then they do now. Then they do their own.
Any bike where carry.
You get one policeman, one no tight, one no seem they go tight. He say, "Yeah, they come here." One floor, senior man. Jordan day, don't forget for Jordan. Hold on. You one carry person, senior man. One carry person. They say, don't see people today.
You know what you do with this life, if you know more, you go to laugh, so you better make them see your 30 teeth. May life they go on. Yes. You get people what I see last week, waited 3 months when they never laugh. But the way you see me now, you don't laugh. God don't bless you.
No
you
money.
Don't say amen. Because I say me God bless you, don't say me because I know we are tired. For that court. For Port before wedding.
Anyway, sir.
Eh? Masha Katabaya.
Prophet Jacob.
Make I enter.
No, no enter, no enter.
If I say make I enter, say enter. If I say connect, say connect.
Connect. No be in the talk.
Not be me.
Now prophet, why can I stand?
Prophet did there.
Yes.
It's not like He's a prophet nowhere.
Last week, I gave it up last week. They do 4 years with me. There's something to secure you now.
And I will take over.
Then they secure you now.
Take on your more.
You want secure me? Come ask when they do security guard
For
for me.
you?
Yes, ma'am.
Ah,
I'm not
so that's it, though.
Then they secure you.
You hear me? What happened? Come, follow me, show them. I'm a man of God.
Alaga.
Last week, they do 4 years with me for Anambra County. They didn't tell you anything. They put about 4.
Boss, don't tell. Happy New Year.
Federal government.
See what? Okay. That's gonna take a change. I can't go leave. Maybe you could.
How can that be life? That's not life. 4 checkpoints in a space of 3.5 minutes. About reason them now, like it's more or less like they are just 50 years apart from themselves. Like you from year to year to year to year to year, they are tolling and they are taking. When people tell you see, when people say that they have over 100 checking points when you are going to the eastern part of Nigeria, they are not exaggerating. It is so ridiculous that you can never not notice it. Like you are traveling to Ibadan now, you get stopped somewhere, you bribe them, and then you go to Ibadan. At the entrance of Ibadan, you see them again, you bribe them. That's not the case when you are going to the eastern part of Nigeria. Like you are going to practically see them enough that even if you are not paying attention before, you begin to pay attention and say, what be this? What kind of a thing is this? Similar presence of these security guys is not seen in the hot zones like the northwest, northeast, and the north central of Nigeria, unfortunately. So it's deliberate economic sabotage or economic sabotage. Depends on what you want to call it. Now, talking about economy and sabotage, I don't know what to call this, okay? It is it is reported that the Benin Republic, they are in current entanglement with Nigeria. Because according to them, you see the waterways that merge the two countries, right? Used to be, was. I keep using the past tense because it is in past tense now because it used to be trade routes. Right now, Benin Republic don't go break rock, carry trailer, bring rock to demarcate the river and block the trade route. Why? They want to stop illegal guns smuggling into their country. I never knew that's a thing. It is a thing. As Nigeria is currently swimming in this massive infiltration of illegal firearms, it seems some of the neighboring countries are receiving the spillover too. Benin Republic, between the border between Nigeria and Benin Republic, right? Now they don't really use the rock to demarcate the water. It's not a big water, right? Small one, but right now it is short. Let's go to that border. So all the trade posts, everything that used to be like between Nigeria and them, they've demolished everything. They don't want to have anything to do with Nigeria when it comes to their own internal security now, since the whole thing is coming from Nigeria, right? Oh, there is more if you just want to feed your eyes. Okay, there is more.
to meridio na arrondissement meridio kame où nous il est de Djodi donc puis des do to sous te lole où yo so javi tambo so alo anu ton donc les ja tambo e wa to susu to igbe bi yo le mi mi odi do ya mi o pe tele ko do fi ko to po les ja tambo e ja lo alo lẹ́jà dàgbò mi dà lọ àlọ́run tó tọrọ pa tọ̀rí nítorí pa bọ̀mẹ̀lẹ́nu kun ẹ̀sánṣọ gbọ̀n ìrùnkùn nàkélẹ̀ ọ̀bálẹ̀ ìrùn gbòdò tọ́jú tó ń lo kú ẹ̀ tó sójú àlọ́ àlọ́run àwọn òní ni.
Agre lo pasa como tal. Ine lo ahí. Vamos a ir.
Mais bon, comme matin, on va se faire. Vraiment, je vais aller.
Ask them like, oh, we don't want to do anything with Nigeria again. They shouldn't near this border. They should not near this river. Because people used to, between, because you see the two places, right? On the Nigeria side, it's Yoruba land. On the Benin Republic side, it's also Yoruba land, literally, right? Like, literally. Because if not for these artificial borders drawn by these colonialists, see those people on the other side, where do you saw those trucks and that river? They will be Yorubas in Yoruba land because they are Yorubas. Or, you know, they went on to go and blast rocks, right? because it's like they've concluded the safety of their people in their country is so important than whatever trade or whatever proceed they are getting from that route called trade routes. So it was like, no. But if we have to kind of like seize this river and say this river doesn't exist anymore, we'll do it so that these gun runners, right, will not continue to have unhindered, unfettered access to our country. Something proactive, if you come to think of it. It's quite proactive, right? But we'll leave that, okay, and go to Nigeria, place where, in fact, we are going to stop by in the mega city, right, where the debate about whether Lagos smells or not, and Tokunbo, right, Wahabi Wole Wole, is somebody who believes that he's doing his best, they're doing a lot, you know, because it's just too big for them to handle at once. So people should give them credit. Once in a while, you actually share the videos of them clearing, clearing channels, cleaning drainages, and the rest of that. But that's almost all about it, because as they are cleaning this one, right, a chunk part of the state is completely ignored, abandoned. I don't know the reason, maybe poor or lack of adequate manpower. I don't know, and I don't want to give excuses for them. But here we saw them at Oshodi Solo. This was inside Lagos. So the question I used to ask myself when I see videos like this is, how did they manage to let it decay this much? Because if I look at this, I'm going to be like, man, it's like they've not touched this for like 10 years. They've not touched this place for 10 years. This can be somewhere they cleaned it a month or a year ago. Inside Lagos, not exactly, but here.
$100,000 yourself. Extra 120, 110. Extra we did it to something. Don't cut the money.
Like, do you get what I mean, right? Cleaning up the environment, taking care of, waste management, so to say, is not something you do once in a year or once in 10 years. It's actually an exercise that all local government areas are supposed to be empowered enough to take care of the waste management in the area. But look at that channel, look at that canal. Yeah? How soon or how recent do you think they cleared it that way? 1 year, 2 years, 3, 5, 10. My bet is that they've never cleared it probably in the last 10 years. The amount of the debris, the amount of the waste mixed up with that thing they are digging out in there, we tell you that, man, they are as old as probably my son, over 10 years. I mean, for the camera, it's showing that they are working, but that didn't even look like a real job because the waste still there. They spread it, they clear a part of the channel, and they took a video to share, with us and say, look at what we are doing. We're doing a great job. But you that just watched that video, right? How long do you think it's going to take for all those things dog to decide to fall back into the channel. How long? That's the problem. You know, it's a problem. And you can't sustain mediocrity, I say, except in Nigeria. I mean, mediocrity sustainable in Nigeria. Labors. Meanwhile, labors, right? I don't know your plan, oh. You remember that 770 something buildings they claimed to have collected from Emefiele. Sir, they have handed it over to the Ministry of Housing. And I think they said they want to sell it. So those of you might want to invest in real estate, right? So there is this ongoing, one very big estate being built in Abuja, and it allegedly belonged to the disgraced former Central Bank governor, and that is Emefiele. I don't know about the litigation on it, if it's clear enough, but the EFCC has handed over the entire place. They've handed it over to the Ministry of Housing. Now, Tinubu can just go on and complete the project, paint it, and call it his own project. That means Tinubu has built you nearly 800 houses in Abuja. But take a look. The process of handing over the properties to the Minister of Housing. Please watch.
Natural ascertain what we finally get out of this, but the number we gave is just what we were able to get from the drawings, and of course now, so who owns it? Federal government owns it. Yeah, federal government owns the property now. So that's the question. Who owns it?
So who owns it before now? And how did you people came about this? And how did you people came about this? And how long?
We've told Nigerians that we did it through civil forfeiture proceedings. And when you do something through civil forfeiture proceedings, the process is for you to do your investigation and go to court upon reasonable suspicion that this is a process of crime. We will approach the court and we ask the court to give us interim forfeiture order. The court obliged. And the court directed that it should be published for 2 weeks. And we did that in widely circulated newspapers, and nobody came forward to lay claim to the property. So we went back to the court. So, nobody came forward to lay claim to the property. And we don't give the final order. You could own this through your legitimate means of livelihood. So the court threw out the application that challenged the order, and here we are today.
All right, thank you very much for talking to us. And how will you describe this effort of the federal government through the EFCC?
It's a testimony to the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Tinubu that gave us the go-ahead to do our work. And ensure that we use the instrumentality of the fight against corruption to stimulate the economy. And I believe this will add value to our economy. It's also, give opportunity to Nigerians who are work hard work, they own the property. By the time we are through with this, like the Honorable Minister said yesterday, through a transparent and accountable process, the federal government will decide what we will do for that efforts. And we have taken over today, we have taken possession of this estate today, and we will commence our own work, especially we have to do integrity test of the structure that are standing here to confirm their own structural stability. And then from there we go on and assess how to complete them and then make them public for disposal in order for government to proceed.
People have complaints that sometimes these properties may not get to the ordinary Nigerians. What assurance are we getting that ordinary Nigerians will still be the ones to get these properties?
Well, ordinary Nigerians will be very much involved because the disposal will be transparent, as I said earlier. And we already have a renewed portal that we are selling some of the renewed estates across the country. And we will key this project into that portal, especially when the construction towards the completion of the estate has commenced. By then, people will be able to know what type of houses they want to buy when the physical structure of each of the units are revealed. Because sometimes you can't even know what you are buying until the physical structure of the house.
Anyway, so just so you know, right? The argument is that the owners of or the owner of the structures did not come forward after 21 days when it was put on notice and then forfeited. Do you see the greed of man? They will tell Nigerians that some things, government cannot do everything. Government, don't expect government to do this, don't expect government to do that. And you're like, what exactly is the job of government? If somebody can take a lot of money and then started building hundreds of houses that he was going to probably sell off or make himself, and then his unborn generation to start claiming that their forefathers gave them old money. And what kind of greed will bring that ball? Government can't build housing, cheap houses for people, cheap quality houses for people, right? They won't do that, but they will steal money and they will have 100, 200, 300 houses. One politician, one public office holder, one civil servant will have enough to, and I'm like, I don't understand. By the time you begin to pick all of them and you realize what they have used their stolen money for, you see that they have bought cars, they've bought, they've built houses, estates, and other things that normally, right, you say, but if you ask government to do this for the people, they will tell you that don't expect government cannot do that. Government can't do this, government can't do that. But the money meant for the development of the people, the money is being shared by rogues who can afford to build over 700 houses. They were still building before the whole thing burst. That's the greed of man. It's unexplainable. There's no way you can explain it. So I couldn't really wrap my head around it. Like, why? Which one person want to take which one person want to take 10 billion to? You want to use 10 billion for? Like, I understand if you make your money, right? You can make 10 billion, you can make 100 billion naira, you can make 1 trillion naira, right? There's no limitation to what you can make, but steal it. What do you want to do? Because you want to probably have a mansion, you want to have these latest automobiles and all of that, while children are denied access to healthcare, access to education, access to balanced diet. And yet, somebody is so audacious enough to loot billions. And you can't really explain it. I can't. Tried. So this greed of man, you've given it several names. Well, I just can't wrap my head around it. You know? Anyway, that is where I think we are going to draw the curtain tonight. So give me a circle. I don't know. I think I'm having an issue with one of my mic. No, I think it's working. So thank you so much. You know why I don't take calls sometimes? I always use the opportunity of us not being so many to get an early rest. And that's what I'm going to do tonight again. We're not so many. So I want to say thank you to every one of us who is here, as usual, especially those of you that would always be here religiously, right? And to those of you who also will be seeing this video later, okay? So I'm going to say good night, right? And I'm going to see you some other time, okay? Okay, everybody shout, take it easy. But before you leave, like the broadcast, like it, subscribe to my channel. The next time when I'm back, it's just going to be awesome. Again. So good night.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Mayegun dayari politico. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràjò. Mayegun ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràjò. Mayegun ti dé. Bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràjò. Mayegun ti dé. Bí gómìnà kówó jẹ. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràjò. Mayegun ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá ti ń gbà rìbá. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràjò. Mayegun ti dé. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràjò. Mayegun ti dé. Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràjò. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o, Mayegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ̀. wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀ oníkanṣá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o àyè.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní má ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣà ìtú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní má ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́run ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀gọ̀ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti jọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà. Àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán wò á kàmù. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì o. Ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní má ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.